Recall from the previous video that we have values of sine, cosine, and tangent for our special acute angles. Those were derived from equilateral triangles and a square, and by cutting those in half. If you need to refresh yourself, check out the video above in your playlist. Okay, so this chart is just so that we can refer to sine, pick our special angle, and know its value. And we can do that for sine, cosine, and tangent. Let's jump right into some examples. Also remember that any document in here that's typed, you can find that in Google Drive because it's in the in-class examples as well. Consider the angle pi over 3. Convert this angle to degrees and give it sine, cosine, and tangent values. Pi over 3 can be converted to degrees by multiplying by 180 degrees over pi. The pi's cancel, 3 goes into 180 60 times, so pi over 3 is the same as 60 degrees. From our chart above, when you go to the 60 degree column, sine and cosine are square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2 respectively. The tangent value you'll find there is square root of 3. Now where that comes from is tangent is equal to the sine over the cosine value of the same angle. So as long as all these angles match up, you can take your sine value, divide it by your cosine value. Square root of 3 over 2 divided by 1/2 is square root of 3 over 2 times 2. Your 2's cancel and leave square root of 3. And that's why we have that value sitting next to tangent of 60. Consider the angle pi over 4. That angle converted to degrees is equivalent to 45 degrees. Sine, cosine, and tangent of 45 degrees is square root of 2 over 2 for both of the sine and cosines. And we derive that from cutting a square from corner to corner in the previous video. Tangent of 45, if you take these two numbers and divide them, you're going to get 1. Find the value in degrees of theta in degrees and radians that satisfies each. Now this time we're going backwards. We're going to have a trig function, its ratio, and we have to backtrack and find the angle. Now from the chart on the first slide, what you would do is you'd go down the cosine row, find square root of 2 over 2, and then you would backtrack that to get your angle. You're not allowed to divide by a trig function per se to solve for an angle. We invert. And so I wanted to put this notation in here as an early introduction to inverse trig values. We will study those more in depth later in the semester, and you'll see those later in the YouTube playlist. But basically to solve these, if you look at the top right over here, you would go to the tangent row, find your value of 1, and then you would go up to the top of the column to get your angle. That one's also 45. 45 degrees converted back to radians, you multiply by pi over 180. Remember, you can use your calculator. Leave the pi out of your calculation. Just do 45 over 180 and convert that to a fraction. You'll get 1/4. And then you just put the pi back on. So 45 degrees pi over 4 is the correct angle to satisfy both of these equations. We're also asked to find the angle in degrees and radians that makes secant theta equal to 2. Well, secant is the reciprocal of cosine, so if we take secant and flip it upside down, that becomes 1/2. That's the reciprocal. Cosine's row, find 1/2, and go up to your angle. You'll find 60 degrees. 60 degrees times pi over 180 reduces to 1/3 pi. 60 over 180 reduces to 1/3. And you just put your pi on the end. On the example to the right, you would go down the sine row till you hit 1/2. the angle at the top of that column will be 30 degrees. 30 degrees in radians will be 1/6 pi. 30 over 180 makes 1/6, and then you just stick the pi back on it. Getting into a few applications, we have the definition of angle of elevation. That represents the angle from the horizontal upward to an object, whereas the angle of depression represents the angle from the horizontal down to an object. If you look at your line of sight, if you were standing or sitting either one and you look straight forward, that would represent the horizontal. Looking up at an object, that angle would be your angle of elevation. If you look down at an object, that would be your angle of depression. Let's look at an example. You are skiing down a mountain with a vertical height of 600 feet. The distance from the top of the mountain to the base is 1,200 feet. What is the angle of elevation from the base to the top of the mountain? Okay, so I sketched a right triangle to try to satisfy all these clues given. The vertical height of the mountain is 600 feet. So this side is where I marked the 600 feet. The distance from the top of the mountain down to the base, that distance, the hypotenuse, is 1,200 feet. The angle of elevation from the base to the top of the mountain, and that's where we would look up at the top of the mountain, we have to figure out what that angle is. Well, 600 is opposite of it. 1,200 is the hypotenuse, because that's the longest side of the right triangle. What trig function uses opposite over hypotenuse? Sine, very good. So if you take the opposite over the hypotenuse lengths, simplify, you get 1/2. From the chart, the sine row, you find 1/2, go up, and you will find 30 degrees. That's the angle of elevation from the base to the top of the mountain. You are standing 42 meters from the base of a building. You estimate that the angle of elevation to the top of the 86th floor, which is the observatory, is 82 degrees. If the total height of the building is another 127 meters above the 86th floor, what is the approximate height of the building? We're going to round our answers to 1 decimal place because that coincides with what WebAssign likes. Okay, so to our diagram, I sketched in the information, sketched a right triangle, 42 meters from the base of the building. We don't know how tall the building is, but we're going to find out. The total height of the building is another 127 meters up from the observatory. The approximate height of the building is what we're after. Okay, so let's put this together, see if we can take the clues and write it out. Angle of elevation was 82 degrees. From that angle, 42 is adjacent. X we don't know yet. So we can set up a tangent ratio because tangent of an angle is the opposite over the adjacent length. So tangent of 82 degrees is equal to x over 42. If you multiply both sides by 42, you will isolate x, and that is equal to 42 times tangent of 82. This is approximately, and you'll want to be in degree mode in your calculator, degree mode. This will be approximately 298.8 meters. When you add the total height, which is another 127 meters above the 86th floor, you just simply brute force add that in to get a total building height of 425.8 meters. Below, as a secondary part of the problem, you'll be asked the distance between you and a friend. So you're told that one of your friends is on the 86th floor. What's the distance between you and your friend? So we now have a hypotenuse to find. We do have x. That was 42 tangent of 82, which was approximately 298.8 meters. We can get our hypotenuse using either Trig or Pythagorean theorem. This part labeled with a number 1 is what we did in class using Pythagorean theorem. Leg squared plus leg squared, 42 squared plus 298.8 squared, is equal to our hypotenuse squared. So our hypotenuse is equal to the square root of all that. Let me fill that 2 in a little better. There we go. Sometimes the ink gets lost in translation when I convert these to a PDF. Okay, so the square root of the legs squared and added together is approximately 301.7 meters. If we do it with trig, because we're finding hypotenuse, we chose sine in class. You could also do it with cosine. Sine of 82 is going to be the opposite over the hypotenuse length. Opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite is what we found up here. 298.8 represents this side. We're looking for the hypotenuse. So if you multiply both sides of this equation by hypotenuse, hypotenuse will be equal to 298.8 divided by sine 82. Now this is different from inverse. Inverse is if you're looking for an angle, dividing by a trig function and its angle, that's a numerical value. That also gives us 301.7 meters. So you're allowed to do it either way. And it's kind of nice to have more than one way to do it because you can do it a couple ways. And if your answers match, you know you did it right. Let me know if you have any questions. Reach out by phone or email. Ask in class if we are in a traditional setting. And I hope this video helped.